Okay, so now back to our panel. We're going to look at a little bit at the budget and the main issues for Māori within that, housing and poverty. Let's start with a comment from one of your own.
Benefits for us in the sense, okay, we've got X amount of money in the bank, but I think the hardest part would be finding ways for it to get down to the people who actually do need the help. I don't know how that's going to be, how this is going to work. Our national government and the government of New Zealand are struggling to find ways. And but I think if we can find a way, we could be actually a game breaker. We can change things and say, hey, government, this is how it could work.
So, how could it work? You guys working on that plan?
Very much so, Miriama.
And what is the plan?
Really, that's right. If there's a opportunity to trailblaze some of the things in the area, like what Willie's saying about social development for our people, getting it out to them in every way, shape or form, then that's the plan.
Housing is a big issue for you guys, isn't it? I mean, we saw recently the Sallies pulling out of a deal to purchase state houses from the government. Is that where you guys step in, Parekawhia?
Well, under our settlement, we have a first right of refusal mechanism, which means that the Crown must come back and offer to us any surplus land, including housing stock. And we've been doing that for the last 20 years now, but we certainly are considering, and we do consider housing to be an important priority for the iwi. Our own people have told us that. We've just completed a survey of over 2,200 tribal members responding. We're currently going out, engaging with them on that.
So your people want to own homes?
They certainly want to own homes, but they also know that a major barrier is financial. So we're working with them to get them educated around budgeting alongside home ownership education.
So what's the key to getting them into a house?
What we are hearing from our own people is that they want budgeting advice. They want to know how do you go about in terms of owning a home, and also is the iwi, are we prepared to invest in developing, building stock as well?
And you are?
We certainly are considering that seriously.
Okay, so the government is looking at releasing over 400 hectares of land to build in Auckland. Is that something that Waikato Tainui would look at, Rahui?
Definitely, there would have to be some due diligence and some thinking around that, but that's definitely something that would look at. If we had the opportunity to do housing developments, we've done them in Hamilton over a number of years now, and looking at more within Hamilton and the wider Waikato area. And if there were opportunities in Auckland, we'd definitely...
Is that a major aspiration? Do you want to be landlords?
Well, there's the key is getting our people into safe, warm houses. And by hook or by crook, then that's what we're going to be doing.
OK, so if you were diversifying, if you were going to go into houses, would it be about making money for the iwi, or would it be about housing your people?
There would have to be a commercial consideration, but the social consideration is right up there with the boxes to tick as well.
OK, let's have a look at another comment now.
E tika ana kia piki ake ngā hua. Engari, kia tūpato tātou anō hoki. Kia ata haere tātou. Kia tino hia, kia ata whera hia ngā kaupapa katoa, kei mua i a tātou, kei mua i te aroaro o te kauhanga nui. I te mea hoki kei he tātou. Nō reira, kia ata haere, kia whakaaro ake tātou ki ngā rea ngā e whitu kei mua i te aroaro, kei a rātou anō hoki te mana. Nō reira, kia tika tā mātou mahi i tēnei wā, kaore kore ka piki ake ngā hua ki ngā uri e whai mai nei i a tātou.
What's your response, Willie, to what Pātara Berryman's saying there?
Well, that's the type of kōrero I think we've already had this morning. And it's good to hear the kōrero with regards to housing, because Tainui's got to get involved in those areas, housing, health. You know, I heard Doug Graham the other day at the celebration for the 20 years, and he said, yes, I know it's taken a while in terms of the trickle down. It's too long, actually. 20 years is too long. And so it's good to hear the kōrero now that that's going to be ramped up and activated. 20 years is too long for your average constituent.
You've tried to be diplomatic, but you're basically saying that they've failed.
No, I'm not saying... As I said, that's a nice way of putting it, Mitty. I said that commercially they've been successful. In terms of the people, they could do a lot better. That's not a total failure at all. And I know how tough it is. So I'm not saying a failure. Others might say that. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying that they could do a lot better because now's the time to prioritise. They brought the Spencers in. They brought Van Hayden in. You know, you've had the heavyweight Parkhouse come in. But the people, you know, you've got some good people there on those clips. And they're great supporters. You don't want to lose the people and good supporters. So no, they haven't failed. But they could fail if they don't get their act together over the next couple of years.
Yeah, because you're worried it might take another 20, right?
Well, we don't want to wait another 20 years. Like the next, I think, 18 months is really important. Get involved and also get off your high horses. And I'm not just saying Tainui, all the tribes, and start thinking about a percentage being allocated towards social spending.
Is there a percentage? You guys have a percentage that you allocate?
We certainly have a target, a KPI is the way I'd put it, in terms of how much is distributed and what is retained for our operations.
What's the target?
The target is 60-40, and so we're working towards that. We'd like to get it a lot higher than 60% of our dividend going towards being distributed to our people.
And what's your timeline for that?
Over the next 12 months, 2 years.
Okay. So there was one more comment that we had from one of your people saying, why don't we look towards complete sovereignty? Is that an aspiration for Waikato Tainui, Rahui?
That was definitely a historical aspiration, and really that led to the Raupatu, which led to the settlement, which led us to Waikato Tainui today. We are realists that we know we have to work in with the communities that we live within, but really the settlement offered opportunities for self-determination, and that to me is tino rangatiratanga and mana motuhake.
What do you think of the flag debate at the moment?
Oh, look, I don't care what flag hops on a flagpole, just as long as Waikato Tainui, we have our own flags, and that's mana motuhake too, Miriam.
Kei te whai, we have to leave it there. Pare Kawhia McLean, Rahui Papa, and of course Willie Jackson, thanks so much.